Alright guys, let's talk about Far Cry 7. So there's been a few leaks, rumors, and wild guesses floating around on the internet, and honestly, I'm kind of excited, but it comes with a bit of caveat. I don't know if that's even the way to say that. Far Cry has always been the series where you never really know what you're gonna get. It could be a masterpiece, or it could be a mess. But either way, you're jumping out of something that's exploding. And that's fun. So in this video, I wanted to break down what we know, what we think we know, and what I'm hoping for, essentially. I'm also going to do a quick run through the previous games, the highs, the lows, the chaos, and then dive into what I'd love to see from Far Cry 7. So let's rewind a little bit. Firstly, we had Far Cry 1, and it was based on this mutant science island place. It was weird, kind of fun, but nothing like what the series would eventually become. Far Cry 2, my favorite Far Cry, at least because I grew up with it, was just pure pain and vibes, malaria, gun jams, fire that spreads like your whole save file is flammable, hardcore, gritty, and honestly, ahead of its time. But it was an amazing game, it was fun, the dynamics of it, the clacking your fingers back into action, it was wonderful. But it set up what I wanted the series to be forever, probably a bit of childhood nostalgia in that, and they kind of stuck with it until recently. Then you had Far Cry 3. Now this was a great game. This literally changed a lot of things in the gaming universe, at least in my opinion. You had Vass, an incredible enemy. There was jungle chaos, explosions. It was just mental in a very, very good way. Next, we had Far Cry 4, which was based in the Himalayas. We had Pagan Min, slightly upgraded from Far Cry 3, still great, but just not as groundbreaking. Riding elephants was fun, but you know, it was kind of like Far Cry 3 in a different place, which isn't a bad thing. It just, yeah, I still loved it though. Then you have Far Cry 5. Now this one holds a special place for me because, I don't know, I did really well with YouTube on it, and I just liked it a lot. It was based in America. You had cults, bunkers, nukes. It had moments, but tonally it felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be. Like 1 minute you're watching a guy baptize people in a river and the next you're throwing dynamite at a bear. It was very, very fun. It led for a lot of open world, free roam fun to have, but the story was just strange. I really enjoyed it, but it was strange. And there's always this like drug theme, you know, in Far Cry games. There's always this like, you're getting high, buddy, whether you like it or not, and then you gotta go and kill people. It's fun, but like, you know, let's try something different. Then we had New Dawn, and it was what, like Neon Apocalypse. I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was fun to play for like 2 minutes until I realized how annoying the gear levels were, and just not being able to kill certain enemies because your gun wasn't powerful. Like, seriously? Please, no. I fully zoned out. It felt like it was DLC, but they kind of dressed it up as like a standalone game. I don't think it cost as much as a full game, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, wasn't a fan. And then Far Cry 6. Now, I really liked that they got Giancarlo Esposito, I believe his name is, to be the sort of main protagonist. Antagonist. So that was really cool. I liked that. Although, he wasn't in it that much. He was, but it was kind of like, I mean, good job for him. The setting was solid, but again, the RPG stuff was just not for me, you know? Like, once you get to a certain level in the game, then yes, you can go back and take on any enemies. But I feel like, at least for me, the Far Cry experience, obviously it's not realistic, because the storylines are just mental. But at least the gunplay and the survival element and stuff, I liked the realism from Far Cry 2, 3, 4, 5. But then you start adding these RPG elements, and all of a sudden it's like, I can't kill certain people, I can't do certain things, and it kind of just ruins the atmosphere and just the flow of the game, in my opinion. You had weapon levels, loot grinding, gear stats. I don't know. I personally, I want to get away from the RPG stuff. If you've watched my videos of any game I play, Assassin's Creed did it too. It kind of works in Assassin's Creed 2, the RPG elements, but I just feel like what Far Cry is and has been, and it's been growing up from, again, in my opinion, let me know your opinion down below, I just don't think it needs to be an RPG. I think it succeeds so well when it's just this single player game where you're just causing chaos and you can go and do whatever you want. And it's one of them as well where the story can be amazing, but then you can make so much stuff happen in the open world that it creates this level of replayability over and over and over again because you're just experiencing chaos in whatever way you want in this massive open world with all these weapons, shovel launchers. Bring them back, please. I liked Far Cry 6 to an extent, but I would have loved it if it wasn't an RPG. Now that that's over, let's talk about Far Cry 7. So there's a bunch of leaks suggesting it's going to take place in like Alaska or some kind of snowy remote setting. There's also talk that Ubisoft's splitting it into two different projects, with the idea being that one is like a proper single player game and the other one is an online like live service thing. I don't know. Ubisoft seem to love putting live service games into their games. I don't agree with it. I think a lot of people don't agree with it, but then again, nowadays everything's kind of a live service, so we have to accept it. You know they're going to throw in all these microtransactions and who knows. A Far Cry Online could be fun. Like, as much as I love Ubisoft games, I feel like whenever they try and do an online experience, it's fun for like the first week, and then you go back to the normal live experiences that you're used to. It's not to say that they can't bang it nail on the head at some point and get a perfect online experience or like a very good one, but just so far I've been a little bit disappointed in the online offerings that they provide. So I'd quite like personally to just see them focus properly on making Far Cry 7 this ultimate fun single player experience. Because at the end of the day, that's all I really care about in this franchise. I don't need daily challenges or gear drops, unless those daily challenges are quite fun and they provide you more open world free roam aspects, then yeah, that's fine. But mainly just give me a map, a mission, or just the map in general, and a lot of chaos. That's it. That's all I ask. A cold setting like Alaska could be really fun. Imagine hunting a target through a snowstorm, low visibility, wildlife ready to kill you, and your gun might jam from getting cold, let's say. That kind of survival edge would bring back a lot of the tension that the newer games have seemed to have lost. But here's where I start to worry again. If they keep adding more gear systems and crafting loops and grindy RPG mechanics, it's gonna feel like every other open world game. Far Cry used to feel unpredictable, but now it's starting to feel systematic or systemic or whatever the word is that I'm trying to find. So, if I got to say what I would want from Far Cry 7, here's what it is. And like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you would like personally. I'm interested to hear it. And who knows, maybe Ubisoft sees it and completely changes their game based on a few people on the internet. Firstly, obviously, let's get rid of weapon levels. Let me use a rusty AK from start to finish if I want to. I don't want to unlock a purple tier shotgun to take down a random guard. Just let the guns feel good and be deadly, and then that is it. That would make me very happy, and I think a lot of other people. Unless I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, and my views are changing, and I'm like the old guy. Hey, shut your music off, buddy! You know, I don't want to be that guy, but still, maybe I am. Next, I want to bring back the crazy stories. So give us like another Vass or another Pagan Min, and a main villain that sticks with us, isn't too ridiculous that it's just a kind of joke. It doesn't need to be realistic, just intense and unpredictable and memorable, something that makes you go, oh, that was sick, and it kind of gives you that feeling that you're playing a movie again. I want to be able to cause chaos and have the world react. I want consequences, like if I attack a convoy, I want them hunting me for hours unless I can try and escape. Yes, they had that in Far Cry 6, but it's so easy to game that. But also, I'll get onto the AI in a second, but those helicopters in Far Cry 6 were just a nightmare, and you could barely even shoot through the glass and stuff. Like, this is what I'm saying, the realism is just, it's not there. Or it just wasn't polished enough. I don't know what it is, but something just felt a little bit off. Essentially, I just want the world to feel a bit more alive. If you play Far Cry 5, that had a very alive feeling in the world compared to like Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 just feels so random. And like, you could be walking down the street and you'll visibly see an enemy truck literally spawn in out of nowhere. And then it's not even moving, and then all of a sudden it starts driving towards you, and boom. Like that, I understand that's probably how games work, but normally you don't see that. Normally you just see a car coming down the road, but in Far Cry 6, you see the car spawn in. It's like, I don't understand why they did it that way. And it just kind of mixes in with the AI. And the AI is just kind of messed up in the first place, so maybe some improvements on the AI too. And I just want to say, I'm not slating the game. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about Far Cry, and I want the next one to be amazing. Now, as for like the padding missions, I don't mind them too much, but when you sort of have to go and collect like 50,000 pelts or something so you can unlock a wallet, it just kind of seems a bit... like, maybe don't lock too much stuff away behind those very tedious sort of searching missions and all of that. You know, like, have the ability where it could be as simple as get money. Once you've got money, you can buy this gun, or you can buy that gun, or, you know, some missions will provide you with fancy weapons. Do all that, that's fine. But just, I think simplicity works really well with Far Cry. Personally, like, yes. But the issue is you know what they're doing is they want you to use the store and buy the really fancy weapons. But it just, I don't know. I think the simpler way of doing it is much better. Maybe just charge a bit more for your game if you're not getting enough money. In fact, don't do that. Don't listen to me. Ignore that one point. Don't charge more. I want better stealth and smarter enemies. I want to feel tension when sneaking into a base and not feeling like I'm babysitting NPCs with the IQ of a brick. I think everyone that's played Far Cry understands that the AI in it just isn't the greatest. I also understand that creating AI for games is probably quite tricky to make it perfect. But I also understand that when you've got billions of dollars, surely it's doable. Or maybe not billions, maybe hundreds of millions, but still, you know, still. I feel like it's possible. Just tweak that AI, make it a little bit nicer, make it more fun, enable us to do more with the game. I want more survival mechanics too. Not like full DayZ or anything like that, but give me some more Far Cry 2 energy. Like weapon degradation, limited ammo, environmental hazards. Just don't throw gear at me like it's free. You know, like, man, take that. Take it. Like I want to suffer a little bit, you know? In Far Cry 6, they had it so suppressors, if you overuse them, they overheat and then they don't work so much anymore. That was kind of cool, but that's pretty much the limit of where it went to. I want to be able to, like, feel like I'm earning surviving. Like, actually having to work hard to survive and not just kind of float around the game and just do 360 no-scopes at people. Although that is cool, but it should be more challenging. So, wrapping up, I don't think Far Cry needs to reinvent the wheel in the next one. It just needs to remember what made it special in the first place. Unpredictable villains, chaotic gameplay, beautiful settings, and an absolute freedom to do the dumb things in smart ways, whatever you want to do. I am hopeful for Far Cry 7, cautiously, but I also know how Ubisoft can be, so for now, I'm going to enjoy the rumors. It's on my wish list, either way, but I remain cautious, like I said. So yeah, let me know what you want to see in Far Cry 7. Do you miss the raw chaos of Far Cry 3? Do you want more structure like Far Cry 5? Do you enjoy the RPG mechanics? Do you prefer the older games? Did you even play the older games? If you haven't, I would recommend trying them so you can experience what it's like playing Far Cry without gear levels. Essentially, it's all stuff that I've spoken about at times in other games and other videos that I've done, but I wanted to put it all together in this to get a proper discussion going about Far Cry. Like I said, at the end of the day, Far Cry has a warm place in my heart, a warm place on this channel, and so I feel like I have a lot to say about it, whether you guys care or not. So drop your wish list in the comments below, roast my opinions if you must, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.